What's up, Chris?
Hey,
I'm Ryan. I sent an email to the partnerships at Propel earlier today, just because Mike told me you were coming out. I was excited to see your whole rig and meet you and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too.
So you live out here?
Yeah, I live just down there, and I'm obsessed with e-bikes. I have 4 e-bikes.
Oh, wow.
I bought the first one in November, and it just blew my mind, and then there's so many different kinds. I've just been like collecting them, kind of.
I see you got the Brompton there. That thing's pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Brompton is great. I took it out to Brooklyn today and ran some errands, like just brought it into the store in shopping cart mode, you know? It's like really good for that.
And how long have you been out here?
I moved out here like 2 years ago. I was in New York for like 10 years.
Okay. What made you come to Jersey City?
We just were kind of looking around. Jersey City wasn't really on our radar, but you know, everything in Manhattan is very like expensive, and New York, larger New York. We weren't even looking in Manhattan. And then we started just like coming out here and looking at stuff and saw so many amazing things that I just like kind of fell in love, and we're like obsessed with it. I basically like quit my job and I'm doing sort of like half-time freelance and half-time just like civic e-bike advocacy stuff.
Oh wow.
I've been like filming my rides and trying to just like publish a lot of stuff about the conditions, bike infrastructure, and what it's like trying to just like live without a car in these urban environments. Like, you know, the bike lanes and stuff have come a long way, but it's still pretty hard out, and like traffic is already back to pre-pandemic levels, and public transit is not. So there's just like a bunch more cars. You know, it's just like it's just crazy out on the roads right now. I'll let you go in front.
No. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, just because it looks like we're filtering. I don't know. We don't have to.
No worries.
Yeah, I went to Propel in Brooklyn, and I tried the turn and the go cycle there when I ended up finding the turn from Beefold in the East Village, who I had been sort of working with prior already.
Yeah, no, he's great, Daniel, right?
David, yeah.
David.
He's
been in it forever, and awesome guy.
Yeah, he really. I was like calling around to shops during the bike boom last year, and everyone was slammed, and no one had anything.
Oh, but so crazy.
Yeah.
He's a trooper, so I'm sure.
Yeah, he gave me a lot. He like sort of like mentored me a little bit, like helped me understand the market and stuff. So he was really great. I loved how I was able to just book the thing online with Propel, the like test ride, and just show up and do it. That was really cool.
Yeah, we're figuring some of that stuff out and seeing like what it's going to end up looking like now as things are shifting. But I think having the test ride appointments is definitely helpful.
Yeah.
People to be able to like have like dedicated time in the shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure out longer term what it looks like. But I tell you, 2020 was a trip for us. It was very challenging. You know, we had a bunch of people like older people that like didn't want to work, you know, or like people that didn't want to commute.
Yeah.
And so it was just, a lot of people were like had moved to New York recently and started working at Propel, and then they moved back home and international. But now we got a pretty solid team, came back together, and I'm pretty excited about it. Wow, what a trip, man! That was and the big challenge, like I couldn't get back out to the city. I was in California, and you know.
Do you want to try to pass this? Sorry. You go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure.
Go ahead. Sorry, you were talking about moving back from California and all that?
Yeah, it was really tricky, but that's why I ended up moving back to New York recently. I ended up staying out here for a while.
Yeah.
So you work part-time, and part-time you're doing like advocacy stuff?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's like the second part of that hasn't really taken shape yet. I've been doing, like, I'm a computer programmer. Okay. And so I'm doing a lot of, you know, I'm just like messing around with my ride videos a lot, so I'm admiring your setup here. I run 2 GoPros. I got one on my chest here and one on the seat facing back. And I've just in the last, I've always been like the GoPros. I find it so hard to just do anything with the videos afterwards. You know, I don't know if you like have a good software stack you use, but
like make it look good with me, or?
Yeah, just like edit them afterwards and do stuff with it. Like, what, like, do you use their app or what do you do?
Honestly, I just took this GoPro out of the package today.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're primarily using DSLRs, so we're primarily using DSLRs, and I actually plan on getting the Canon C70. Cool. The hope is that we get to a point where we can actually have like real like broadcast quality footage that we could potentially like turn some of this into like a TV show or something like that.
Oh wow, I love that.
I think that possibility exists, and I think that we're not too far off from it now. And you know, I mean, I think there's a big opportunity just to expose people on a larger scale. You know, it's like, yeah, us like kind of bike nerds and like whatever, like into like advocacy, like we need everybody to understand this stuff, right? So like, how do we package it and figure out a way that you can get more people exposed to it? That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking about.
I love it, and I used City Bike in New York for like 7 years or something, and then actually I guess it was during the pandemic I bought my first bike because I needed to go to Hoboken and they didn't have City Bike there yet.
Yeah.
So I got 2 regular non-electric bikes, and then I was just already that was like just an epiphany in terms of my mobility, my like ability to get around the city and stuff. I was like, all right, e-bikes seem cool. I should probably try one. But at that point, I already had my 2 bikes in my office with me. I was like, okay, it needs to fold, right?
Yeah.
But I also need like a cargo thing. So I was like, folding cargo e-bike. Like, what can I? Oh shit, good. So I ended up with the Vectron because that's like basically that's the only one, you know, like that checks all those boxes. I feel, or that I've seen really.
Yeah.
And then that I was like, oh my gosh. And then I got a Van Move, and then I got a Specialized Creo, which is the carbon road bike. It's like incredible. That is an incredible machine. And then I finally got I tried the Brompton, one of the first things, the electric Brompton, but it was nice and expensive and everything. So I kind of waited till the end. I checked a lot of other boxes, and then I came back and I was like, yeah, I want that Brompton still.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about what number 5 would be, and there's like a real cargo bike that is probably missing. Like the Vectron can't do everything, you know. So I love this is an Urban Arrow, right?
This is the recent Mueller load.
Oh, right, of course. I just watched your latest video about the recent Muellers, the multi-charger.
Yeah.
When I went to Propel, and those are all on the wall, and at that point I was like, I thought my price point was lower. Yeah. It was. Now I'm looking back at the recent Mueller, like they seem so nice.
It sounds like a part of the constraint is like weight as well. Like that's one of the common factors behind between like all those different bikes, aside from the Vectron maybe, but like the Brompton's really lightweight, it's Specialized.
The Creo's light.
And really, frankly, I wish I had more options at the moment that were lighter weight.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that more become available on the market. You know, and yeah, we're just kind of taking it as it comes and seeing what develops. But trying to be focused, you know, just trying to do the best we can, you know. And what I see also, like as we're trying to scale and different stuff like that, I'm sure you can appreciate that with computer programming.
Sure.
Like you got to keep it simple. You know?
Yeah.
And you got to know like what you can do, like what can work consistently.
Yeah.
And some of the things, like some of these like more like cutting edge products, like they're great, but like then supporting them on a larger scale can be challenging. You know, and that's what I find.
Like the e-bikes that are coming out and stuff. Yeah, right. This is like you consolidated around Bosch and that whole thing, right? Which I think that sounds great. Yeah.
But what type of programming did you do, by the way?
So I was working at Mount Sinai Hospital doing like bioinformatics for like 7 years. Before that, I was actually worked on Google Maps like 10 years. Like I was like in tech whatever for a while. And now I'm just like freelancing for a biotech company. Okay. And trying to.
High demand in that industry right now, right?
For sure, yeah.
General tech-related stuff.
For sure. And it's great to be able, you know, it's kind of like a. Pretty much. Well, that's Chris from Propel. Propel Bikes.
Roll it up!
So, Propel is an e-bike dealer.
Oh, okay.
And they have a shop in Brooklyn. And he's been in California because they opened some shops out there, but he just moved back to New York. Okay. And he has probably like the most popular e-bike channel on YouTube, I would say. They're talking back there?
Yeah, this setup for like the camera is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is Deanna, by the way.
Oh, hello.
Ryan.
I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you.
You doing electric today?
Yeah, this is the e-Brompton.
Got it.
You tried this last time, I think, right?
Yeah. I think I'm happy with this one for now.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some like electric city biking in the city.
Yeah.
And some of them are tuned up so high that like you can't even get any exercise. Trying to get that more like first-person perspective.
Yes. It's hard to work on those, I agree. Yeah. Sidewalk. Everybody up on the sidewalk! Everybody up on the sidewalk! Everybody up on the sidewalk!